Welcome to lesson 13 of unit 2. Today we're looking at two graphs for each equation. We're going to start with the warm-up, true or false, fractions and decimals. So you're going to decide whether each equation is true or false and be prepared to explain your reasoning. So you have 3 questions. Pause the video and take 5 minutes to answer that now. All right, welcome back. So let's check this out. So we have 3/2 times 16. We're going to put the 16 over 1. So 3 times 16, that is going to give us, let's see, 16, 32, 48. And then 2 times 1. So half of 48 is 24. 3 times 8 is 24. So this one would be true. All right, so we have 3/4 divided by 1/2. So we're going to switch 2 over 1. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 2 is 8, which becomes 3/4. And then 6/4 times, or divided by 1/4. So we're going to do 4 over 1. 6 times 4 is 24. 4 times 1 is 4. When we divide 24 by 4, you have 6. So this one is false. All right, now we have 2 and 8/10 times 13 and 7/10 times 52. So you can set it up this way. 2.8 times 13. 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 2 is 8. That is 0. 0 times, oops, you can't see. So 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 2 is 2. Add those up. We have 4, 16, 364, or 36.4. All right, we're going to do 52, 0.7, multiply. 7 times 2 is 14, carry the 1. 7 times 5 is 35, 36. So we end up with 36.4, or 36 4/10. So this one would be true. All right, let's turn the page and look over here at page 162. So this is your teacher will assign you one of these 3 points. So we are going to do 10, 4, or actually, yeah, we'll do 10, 4. So on the graph, you're going to plot and label your only assigned point. So we're going to plot 10, 4 on the graph, 10, 4. Then use a ruler or a straight edge to draw a line that starts at the origin and goes through the point. So I'm going to use my straight edge that goes through my point of 10, 4. We're going to complete the table with the coordinates of points on your graph. Use a fraction to represent a value that is not a whole number. So if we look down here at the table, we know 10, 4. So that would be 10 fourths. Because we would do y over x. Oh, 4/10. My bad. Not 10 fourths. Which is also equal to 2/5. So we know each time going up, this is going to go up by 2/5. So we are at 0. Our y point is also going to be 0. At 1, we're going to be at 2/5. And we're going up by 2/5. Right, so then we would do 2 times 2/5, which would give us 4/5. And this would stay the same at 2/5. 3 times 2/5, that would give us 6/5. Still going up at 2/5. And we're just going to follow this pattern going all the way down. So go ahead and fill in the rest of the points. So there are points like 5 where we can simplify 10/5 down to 2. And then our slope is the same for all of these. Okay. So number 2 says complete the table, or 3, complete the table with coordinates of points on your graph. Use a fraction to represent any value that is not a whole number. So we could even put this as like 2/1 to represent it as not a whole number. All right, compare your graph and table. Sorry. Number 4, write an equation that represents the relationship between x and y defined by your point. So if we look at 1, each time it's going up by what number? That's right, 2/5. So it would be y equals 2/5 x. Because this is our constant rate. Number 5, compare your graph and table with the rest of your group. So this one we don't have to do because this is a video lesson. So number 5, you're just going to cross out. All right, so we are going to go over now to page 164. We're going to look at Andre and Jada. So Andre and Jada were in a hot dog eating contest. Andre ate 10 hot dogs in 3 minutes. Jada ate 12 hot dogs in 5 minutes. So Andre ate 10 hot dogs in 3 minutes. Jada ate 12 hot dogs in 5 minutes. I'm just going to underline that because that sounds like some really important information. So here are 2 different graphs that both represent the situation. On the first graph, which point shows Andre's consumption and which shows Jada's consumption? So if we're looking at this first graph, which point do you think represents which person? I want you to go ahead and label them and then come back. Look back. So this top point would be Jada, and this one over here would be Andre. And that's because on the bottom, we're looking at time in minutes. So going this way, it's how much time in minutes has passed. But going up is the amount of hot dogs. So Andre ate 10 hot dogs in 3 minutes. So he ate 10 hot dogs in just 3 minutes. So he ate less hot dogs than Jada, but in a smaller amount of time. Whereas Jada ate more hot dogs and it took her a little bit longer to get those down. So then it wants us to draw 2 lines, one through the origin in Andre's point and one through the origin in Jada's point. So again, you're going to take your straight edge, you're going to line it up with the origin and the point, and you're just going to draw your line. So here's my line for Andre, and let's draw my line for Jada. Make sure you're going through the origin. So we've got Andre and we've got Jada. Write an equation for each line. Use T to represent time in minutes and H to represent the number of hot dogs. So our x-axis becomes our T, our y-axis becomes our H over here. So normally it's y equals kx, but for number 3, our y becomes H equals blank T in time. So we need to figure out how many hot dogs are they eating. So it would still be y over x, but also written as h over t. So in this case, Andre would have an equation of h equals how many hot dogs did he eat on our y-axis. So if we look at his hot dog consumption, he ate 10. And then how long did it take him? 3 minutes. So this would be 10/3 of t. We would do the same thing here for Jada. I want you to go ahead and try to write hers on your own. Pause the video. All right, welcome back. So Jada's would be h equals, she ate 12 hot dogs, so our hot dogs go on top, in 5 minutes. So this would be 12/3 t. And you could even simplify hers down to h equals 4t. And we can simplify Andre's as 3 1/3 t. So for each of these equations, what does the constant of proportionality tell us? So what is that constant rate showing us? Yeah, it's showing us how quickly they can eat a hot dog per minute. All right, so we need to repeat the previous steps for the second graph. So we're going to be doing 1 and 2 and 3 for the second graph. So we've got to figure out, well, now that the hot dogs are down here and the time is up here, so hot dogs are going this way and our time is going up that way, which point is who? Pause the video now and label your points. Welcome back. So our top point is going to be Jada because she ate more hot dogs. And our bottom one would be Andre because he ate less hot dogs. Because our bottom line is hot dogs. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to draw our lines for that. Draw our line for Jada. And draw our line for Andre. So we have Jada and we have Andre. And again, we're going to use this same equation, but it's going to be kind of reversed because this time our x-axis is hot dogs and our y-axis is minutes. So if our y is minutes and we're measuring that in time, it's going to be t equals blank h. And again, it's just the same thing as this formula here. We're just using the variables they gave us. So we're going to write it as t equals blank h. So go ahead and fill that in for both. T equals blank h. T equals blank h. And this time, instead of hot dogs over time, it's going to be time over hot dogs. It's still our y over x, but our variables are now in different spaces. So before Andre had 10/3, we're now going to flip that, and it's going to be 3/10. Jada had 12/3. We're going to flip that now to be 3/12. And again, you can simplify this if you want. So it would be t equals, oh, Andre's you can't really simplify, but you can simplify Jada's. So it would be t equals 1/4 of h. And And that is it for lesson 13. See you next time.